Looking for new travel gear? You can now shop my favorite travel tools and accessories directly from your Amazon account. Click here to shop now or visit travelingwithkristen.com/Amazon. Everyone from Airbnb to National Geographic have announced their top destinations for 2020, and we have the best of the best for you here today, plus the fastest internet in the world as we close out the decade. This is Digital Nomad News. Happy holidays and welcome to Digital Nomad News, your source for breaking news on technology, remote work, and travel. If you're new here, I'm your host, Kristen Wilson, the owner of Traveling with Kristen and Digital Nomad TV, where we're creating content to help you thrive in a location-independent lifestyle. In our top story today, as we reach the end of the year and the end of the decade, major travel brands and publications have been announcing their top picks for 2020 travel destinations, and they are all over the map. No pun intended. In fact, Paul Metzelaar, the CEO of Ovation Travel Group, recently told Forbes that his agency has seen, quote, an elevated demand for international travel that is more than 40% higher than the previous year. No surprises there, as better technology, the ever-decreasing cost of international travel, and faster travel times is making international travel more accessible to everyone. So if you love travel, then make sure to stay tuned for my new Future of Travel special report coming up next on Digital Nomad News. But in the meantime, to help inspire your wanderlust, I have personally scoured the 2020 top destinations lists from companies like Airbnb, Condé Nast Traveler, Lonely Planet, National Geographic, and more to bring you the top most frequently recommended countries in the world. Ready? Here we go. Taking over the top spot is Japan, with Tokyo and Kyoto being the most commonly recommended destinations. Coincidentally, I have plenty of videos on what it's like to live and work in both Tokyo and Kyoto. They are awesome places, so make sure to check those out in the description below. Following right along is Australia, with Tasmania being recommended quite a few times. I haven't been there, but it sounds great. In third place, we had quite a few cities throughout Mexico mentioned, with everywhere from Playa del Carmen to Guadalajara to San Miguel de Allende. Playa, of course, is turning into quite a digital nomad destination, and you can check out the recent after movie from Nomad Summit to get a taste of what life is like there. Fourth place is India, another country I haven't been to, but quite a few cities in India were mentioned for 2020. Followed by the United Kingdom, with Scotland coming up quite a few times. Next is Argentina, specifically Mendoza, the wine region, and Patagonia and Bariloche. In seventh place, Morocco, followed by China, the Netherlands, France, Spain, Canada, Brazil, the US, and finally a tie between Kenya and South Africa. Although quite a few African countries were mentioned in all of the lists that I saw. Honorable mention also goes to Georgia, which took over the #1 spot on a list of the top 30 emerging travel destinations for 2020. Georgia being quite an interesting and low-tax destination for remote workers. But before rushing to book your ticket, make sure to watch my interview with Rolf Potts, travel expert and author of the best-selling book, Vagabonding. I sat down with Rolf last summer in Paris, also another top 2020 travel destination, and he shared a lot of his best tips and travel stories from 30 years roaming the globe, and of course, writing about it. One of my favorite quotes from the interview is to remember that your bucket list is just to get you out the door. Frequently, when traveling, the best things that happen are off the beaten path or at least unplanned. And of course, don't fear, because I have plenty of travel videos and cost of living guides for what it's like to live and work in some of these top 2020 destinations, including Japan, Argentina, the Netherlands, Spain, and the Canary Islands. So make sure to check those out. I will link them below as usual. Before we get to the fastest internet in the world, if you plan to be doing a lot of traveling in 2020, then make sure to watch my recent interview with Jason Pizzino, a crypto digital nomad from Australia and health and fitness enthusiast. I interviewed Jason while he was traveling through Greece and the Mediterranean, and he shared with us some of his tips on how he stays healthy and fit while on the road. You can watch that video here. We had a live interview, or you can download the audio version by searching for Badass Digital Nomads wherever you get your podcasts. Finally, we have the fastest internet speeds in the world for 2019. Now, the top country for the fastest internet depends on what list you look at, but I brought together lists from the World Economic Forum, Ookla, Nomad List, and speedtest.net. So here are the top 5 countries with the fastest internet from each of those lists. First up, Peter Levels, the founder of Nomad List, ran nearly 1 million speed tests in the last few months, and his top countries for cable internet include Belarus, Belgium, Bulgaria, Canada, and Portugal. The fastest cities, however, were San Francisco, Barcelona, Toronto, Budapest, and New York City. According to speedtest.net, the countries with the fastest broadband speeds are Singapore, South Korea, Hong Kong, Romania, and Liechtenstein. The countries with the fastest mobile internet speeds include South Korea, Qatar, Norway, Australia, and the UAE. This compared to Ookla, which ranks the top 5 countries according to their mobile internet speeds as Norway, Iceland, Qatar, Singapore, and the Netherlands. Finally, for their top 5 broadband speeds ranked by country, in the top spot we have Singapore with 175 megabits per second, followed by Iceland, Hong Kong, South Korea, and Romania, rounding out the top 5. As you can see, there's quite a wide disparity on this list, but some of the countries that are consistently ranking in the top spots for both mobile and broadband speeds include countries in Southeast Asia, such as Singapore and Hong Kong and South Korea, as well as some European countries, specifically in Northern and Western Europe, including Iceland, Norway, the Netherlands, and a few Eastern European countries, such as Romania and Bulgaria. That's all we have for this week's show. Make sure to stay tuned for our upcoming report on the future of travel and also the state of remote work. And let us know in the comments below, where are you planning to travel to in 2020, and how important is internet when it comes to choosing your travel destinations? And of course, subscribe, share this episode with all the tech and travel savvy friends in your life. We're here every week on youtube.com/digital nomad and Traveling with Kristen. Ciao for now. No. Why can't I get this one? Shop my favorite travel gear today at travelingwithkristen.com/Amazon.